A.J. Foyt is the most successful driver in IndyCar history. In a career that started in 1957, he won 67 races and 7 championships, both of which are the most of all time, and the Indianapolis 500 4 times, which has been tied by 3 other drivers, but not surpassed. In my opinion, an underrated part of his career was his comeback in 1991, at the age of 56 years. From 1980 to 1987, Foyt entered no more than 8 races in a season. In 1988, he returned to competing regularly. For 1990, his season was going good. In the first 14 races, Foyt finished in the top 10 in 7 of them and had a best finish of 5th place at Meadowlands. There was a realistic chance that Foyt would finish in the top 10 in the championship. Unfortunately, he was badly injured in a crash at Road America, and there was the possibility that Foyt would not walk again. Not surprisingly, Foyt missed the remainder of the 1990 season, though he still finished in 11th position in the championship. However, Foyt would return for a partial season in 1991, which would be his last one, for his own A.J. Foyt Enterprises team. The first race he would do was Indianapolis.
A.J. Foyt averaging 222 miles an hour on his last lap now.
About 30 years ago, Foyt won this race, and he stayed on top in all sorts of motor racing for a long time. And you know, it's sad in a way to say that there are only 2 drivers in this race, Mario and Gary Bettenhausen, that even remember how good he truly was.
Ironically, the injury has brought back all the fire and focus of his early years. He desperately, you see his son there, A.J. desperately wanted to be in this race to accelerate his recovery. He endured months of painful therapy.
You want your radio back? You want your radio?
Well, A.J. Foyt, there's Phil Casey, his chief mechanic, turned his quickest laps ever at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, averaging 222 miles an hour. Here is the Valvoline qualifying summary, 222.4 miles an hour. A.J. Foyt, for the moment at least, has the pole at Indianapolis.
Ultimately, Foyt qualified in 2nd place for the 500, but this was his best start since starting first in 1975. Despite this good start to the season, Foyt's races would end poorly.
Now A.J. Foyt being pursued by Al Unser Jr. They both come past Randy Lewis. Little Al tries to move to the inside. A.J. holds him off in turn 1. Flies across the short chute. Bobby Rahal continues pursuing Little Al.
A.J. can be a little superstitious, and he remembers that he has never led the first lap of a race that he went on to win. So everybody talking so much about his leading that first lap, I'm not sure he really had his heart in it, Paul.
Sam, I don't really think he did. I really think that Foyt's a lot smarter than maybe people give him credit for. He's been here, like we said, 34 years. Leading the first lap is not important. Not having an accident, obviously, by looking at Gary Bettenhausen, was important.
And Al Unser Jr. closing now on A.J. Foyt. Little Al battles with him and sticks his nose ahead as they go into the corner. So Little Al is up to 4th place. Roberto Guerrero climbs out of the car. These cars can take some incredible punishment. They are designed with so much safety in mind.
That's one of the Alpha cars now. One of the 2 Alpha cars in the race Roberto's driving.
And of course the other one is driven by Danny Sullivan, so a star-crossed day for the Alfa Romeo team.
And A.J. Foyt, his hand up indicating
he was in
that
the
he's
crash.
going.
Look at the left front. The wheel is not making contact with the road.
Not at all.
He's damaged that suspension.
And that looks to be rather permanent damage.
Yeah, in fact,
Bobby, can that be repaired at all?
No, there's no repair there. That's going to be permanent, Paul. Like you said, that's probably going to put him out.
The field leaves A.J. behind. The crowd stands to salute the grand champion as he rolls down off the 4th turn and into the pits.
For sure, the car would have to have at least an entire left front corner. That would be the least amount of damage done.
There had been so much speculation before the race, but his success in qualifying caused him to decide to come back, perhaps for a 35th year. I think the signal that you see him making from the cockpit right now suggests no. This is the farewell of A.J. Foyt.
And Sam, I don't think it's bothering him all that bad. I think he's made this race his 34th start. You can see Foyt is never this happy. I've never seen him drop out of a race and been happy before.
Was the oldest man ever to run this race, 56-year-old A.J. Foyt.
Stepping back to the pits on the 25th lap of the 75th Indianapolis 500 to a standing ovation, Anthony Joseph Foyt Jr., who prefers to be known simply as AJ. And AJ rolls past the entrance to Gasoline Alley. Bill Casey and his crew waits for the car as they come down to the south end of the pit area. Will there be a valiant effort to put that car back in the race? It's difficult from his position for AJ to determine how much damage is there, but I feel rather certain that he's convinced, yes, he unstraps. There it is. Now let's look at the cars that are running just behind.
Imagine the guy's trying to dodge all the tires.
And AJ was caught by debris. He actually had the car well down under control. Take a look now. All right, now watch AJ Foyt's car. It's the black car on the inside. And Sam, a piece of debris right there. And see that debris bouncing in front of AJ's car?
That debris is a tire. Oh, he hit a tire and hit it hard, Paul.
It's almost too small, Bobby, to be a tire. It looks like another part of the wheel assembly. Perhaps the brake caliper or something. Whatever it was heavy, and it did incredible damage to the front end of AJ's car.
Due to something that was not Foyt's fault, what was intended to be his final 500 ended after just 25 with 200 laps and a 28th place finish. He would compete in 5 of the next 6 races, but they would also have issues.
And there's AJ Foyt as he comes to the end. Oh, look at that. Motor, telltale smoke at the back of the car. Motor, turbo, somewhere there. Boy, what a rough time he's having.
And what an ovation he got from this crowd when he was introduced just minutes before the start of the race.
We'll see what happens when he rolls around here. Tremendous crowd here in Milwaukee. Rick Mears, by the way, has rolled back into the pits. Michael Andretti, the leader of the race.
Now, most likely Foyt's going to bring a yellow out, Paul. I don't think he can post all the way in. I think he's going to stop on the racetrack, create another yellow. Otherwise, it was going to be extremely close on whether they were going to have to make another pit stop or not before the end.
AJ is back in another time.
I think he's probably had about enough.
Worked his way to 13th position at one time in the event with car number 14. Wants him to crank it back up. Get back out here. Meanwhile, take a look at this. Here's Rick Mears and Emerson Fittipaldi mixing it up.
We watch Scott Pruitt, and there is AJ Foyt, who came out of the pits fairly slow, and yeah, he's coming back up. He was in the pits for a little bit of time. One of the competitors here, AJ Foyt, had a little problem just a little bit ago. We can show you that problem. AJ very, very high off the corner.
Exiting turn 7, just gets a little bit too wide, drops those outside wheels onto the grass. Of course, that precipitates, can I say that word, the spin. One simple 360 and gets on his way. But AJ Foyt not having a good day. Qualified 22nd.
Hiro Matsushita right behind, had to climb on the brakes. That was corner 7 too. Might be a little anticipatory to suggest that that's totally AJ, because that's one of the corners that's breaking up. He might have just gotten loose running through that corner.
That's right. Earlier today we had another race, and the marbles offline, which get thrown up by the race cars running through the groove, is what causes the trouble when you go a little bit wide. That looks like what may have happened to AJ Foyt.
Let's check with Gary Gerald. And another great name out of the competition, Jack, is AJ Foyt. Motor problems, AJ?
Well, we're not really for sure. You know, the car tied up real bad coming off of 2, and 3 or 4 laps before that, I was up on the guys, you know, get by them, and kind of popped and missed a little bit. We're not for sure it's something tying up in the motor or something electrical. We're not really sure. We just didn't want to take a chance of, you know, tying up the motor and having a crash out there.
Is this going to be AJ Foyt's last 500?
Well, I wouldn't say it's going to be my last 500, but it's over with today. And like I said, it's a shame we fell out. The car was performing beautiful. Looked like my crew got their act together on the pit stops. You know, everything worked good. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
We hope we see you again, AJ.
Well, you never know.
Thank you. Paul?
Thank you. Not just you, Gary, but a couple of million race fans worldwide. I think we're going to see him back at the Indianapolis 500. Trouble is, Bobby, you're going to have to throw another goodbye party for AJ. It's going to get expensive.
That's for sure. And you know what? I think I kind of wish we had a time machine. We could back him up for about 30 years and let him race like he used to race. I think that'd really be good.
Unfortunately, Foyt likely had not recovered enough to be competitive on the road course and street circuit tracks, though he was often competing in the middle part of the field, not the rear. However, at the Indianapolis and Michigan oval tracks, Foyt was in the top 10 before his car was hit by debris from a crash in the former and had an engine failure at the latter. Foyt would do one additional race for his comeback season, the Nazareth Oval.
You were wondering about A.J. Foyt. There's number 14. There he is. Not only has he started well here, he currently runs in 10th place. And just in front of him is Paul Tracy. So A.J. Foyt, the oldest driver here, and Paul Tracy, the youngest, in adjacent positions here on the track. A.J. was complaining about a rib that he had pulled a cartilage on his right side. But he said, I'm going to get in that car and go racing. As far whether or not this is his last race, anybody can say anything they want. AJ will decide race by race, I'm sure of it.
Most people talk about his foot injuries. He said it really doesn't bother him here, even though he uses that left foot pretty hard sometimes down at turn 3, but it really doesn't bother him because when everything warms up inside, the adrenaline begins to flow, you very quickly forget any injuries that you have like that.
A.J. Foyt coming in from some service from his team. By the way, Mike Groff has been hanging around there most of the weekend and is in the Foyt pits today. And this is not routine.
This is not routine. It's not a good sign when they don't put that fuel hose in. There's no urgency here. AJ, we see the seatbelts appear over the side of the cockpit. His day is over.
Not only do we question the day, but now with AJ Foyt, you must wonder every time when he puts his hands down on the side pods, is this the last time that we will see AJ Foyt step from the cockpit of a race car after his incredible career with 67 IndyCar victories, 4 Indianapolis 500 wins. AJ has indicated an interest in racing Indianapolis next year, but only an interest. You see, he's frustrated with this run as the crew tries to calm him. Could this be the last time on the mile for this mile master? 33 mile wins in his career. He's only finished twice out of 8 races thus far this year, but let me tell you, you're looking at the best, the grand champion. Vintage
AJ, it was Jeff Andretti that got...
Well, yeah, he's all over the goddamn track. You don't know where the hell he's going.
And it was suspension problem that...
Yeah, I kept from knocking him through the goddamn wall. I'm tired of this shit. Got people out there that shouldn't even be in the goddamn race car.
Well, you talk about emotion. There's the vintage A.J. Foyt, Paul.
Almost circa the confrontation at the start of the Indianapolis 500 with Kevin Kogan. But the emotion that A.J. feels so strongly there is also the emotion that carried him to championships.
Nazareth was Foyt's final race of the season and he was competitive in it until damaging his suspension after contacting Jeff Andretti, to which Foyt made his desire known. Although Foyt retired from 6 of his 8 races in 1991, only 1 was due to a driver error, that being damaging his suspension after spinning at Cleveland. 3 of his retirements were due to mechanical issues, which the team Foyt oversaw could be validly criticized for. Foyt having a best finish of 13th place in 1991 at Meadowlands was not representative of his overall performance in his comeback season. In multiple races, the physically recovering and 56-year-old Foyt was running in the top 10 until having an issue that was not his direct fault. Despite Foyt saying that 1991 would be his final IndyCar season, he returned in 1992. At Cerberus Paradise for Walker Racing, Foyt finished 23rd, last, due to a transmission issue after 2 laps. Then, at Indianapolis for his own team, Foyt finished in 9th place. This would be Foyt's final IndyCar race. The following year, Foyt entered the 500, but decided to retire from the series prior to qualifying.